All right, welcome to the stream, everybody. Simmo here, and we got a special treat tonight. We are playing around on the new update for Path of Titans. We have the entire map at our disposal, and if you haven't noticed, we're playing as the Styracosaurus. Welcome to the stream, everybody. It's so good to have you all with us. We are going to be having Jiggy and Matt, the lead devs on Path of Titans, joining us for some questions and answers. So if you guys have any burning questions for them, make sure you get them ready. We'll be having them hop back in here in just a moment. But I hope you guys are excited as I am, because I am super excited to finally see this entire map. And there's a Styracosaurus at that. And this is a speedy little boy too. But hey, welcome to the stream, Twisted Guns, Xeno Player, Big Bob, Wolf Fur, Misty Wolf, James Luther, and Shino Gaming. Welcome, guys. Woe and Ant, you were first. Thanks for being here early, my friend. Appreciate ya. Jordan Williams. Wait, this dino playable? Yes. If you guys want the chance to play this is a test, and the team is going to need a lot of help with picking out the bugs for when this goes public. If you guys want to figure out how to get into the demo test and how to report bugs, I have linked Jynn's video down below in the description. Jynn is another dinosaur YouTuber I think you guys will appreciate. So if you haven't checked out her channel, I got it linked down below. Hop on over and give a hello from your friend Simmo. Hey, good day, Maverick. The one and only Fry. Wait, Styraco playable? Yes, I am playing it right now, and you guys can play it as well. Oh my god, I'm about to start starving and die of dehydration. Oh no. Oh, thank goodness there's food right here. Munch, my Styraco. Hey, what's up, Pastel Dreams? Even migraine right now, but I'm going to watch the video for as long as I can. I hope I get to watch the convo with the devs. They should be popping in back any moment. If you guys are watching, feel free to pop back in. But hey there, Chai Latte and Mason, James Luther. What's the plan on how pouncing and my idea on pinning? I'll have to ask them that, James. Twisted Gun says, hey Simmo, you literally made my day from joining the Theropoda server, also joining the Project Prehistory server. Oh, it's my pleasure, Twisted Guns. Always happy to keep up on what people are doing out there. It seems like a super cool idea. Hey, glad you like it, Anthony. It is super gorgeous. And we're just getting into it. Do I hear you guys back there? Is that you, Matt?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, we're here.
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and thank you guys so much for joining me for this. I'm super excited. Always super enjoy doing these Q&As with you guys. So I gotta ask first off, what's with the new HUD here? we got a food meter and a water meter, and is that my health in the middle?
Yeah, so we've got food and water. The red bar is your health. There's stamina, and assuming you have full stamina, it'll actually just hide the whole stamina bar.
Okay.
Same with, there's going to be a breath bar too if you start drowning. That'll appear in the the bottom right-hand side.
Okay.
And there's also a picture that looks almost like an Allosaurus biting right in the middle too.
Yeah, I see that.
That's actually it's very work in progress, but basically if you have ever played an MMO game before, you often have a bar full of your abilities at the bottom. And if you are to left click right now, which will do an attack, you'll notice that the bar will start cooling down, like there's a cooldown timer on that attack. So
cool.
You only have one ability right now, but in the future you'll have a whole list of them that you can play as or use.
Awesome. Oh no! And there's fall damage.
Yeah, there is all damage. Sorry about that.
R.I.P. All right, we'll come back in.
We also have precise movement on this guy as well, so you should be able to walk backwards from that cliff as well next time.
Okay.
Yeah, to do the precise movement, just hold down the X key, and then you can turn in place. You can walk backwards. You can do whatever you need.
And you can also rebind that to a different key. Now, the reason why we moved it from right click is because we wanted to free up the other right click for a second attack.
Oh, that is so nice. Yeah, I remember it used to be the right
You can do
click,
it
but
crashed as well, which is super cool. If you want to be really sneaky.
Yeah, you can even like crouch and walk backwards. Just like you can do anything you want, right?
Yeah, I like how
Oh, it's
in
so
our game
cute.
all the dinosaurs can crouch, because that is such a relief from being able to crouch and stealth in a bush and stuff like that.
You know, IG plays. You know what? I should do a tutorial for mobile, but I think Jynn might have already done that if I'm not mistaken.
We do plan on doing some more tutorial vids for mobile on how to beat your game and stuff like that. I know in mobile it can be a little bit confusing for people, because like iOS and Android vary a couple of things, but we're definitely working on stuff like that.
Oh, here's an interesting question from Jake's Punts. I know there's been a lot of questions about the game coming to console, but this one's a little bit less related to specifics and more on like if it would be compatible with like a keyboard, you could hook it up to your console and play like that.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit outdated on my consoles, but last I checked, the PS4 and Xbox One, you could just plug in a mouse and keyboard and it would just work. So I'm pretty sure that's kind of like a requirement nowadays when you're launching a game to support that kind of thing. So I'm sure that would eventually be supported if it comes to console.
Right on. So that'll make things pretty easy for people to be able to play cross-platform.
Yeah, another common one is, hey, if you guys come out for the current gen consoles and I get a next gen console, will it better play? And the answer to that one, yes. Because there's requirements for games coming out now to be compliant with next gen too. So you've got that at least if it's confirmed for console.
Yeah, Seabass. We do have the whole map playable to us now, and this is the first pass, or is this the second pass you guys have done over the map now?
So the map is essentially complete in terms of most of the points of interest and most of the rock placement and things like that. Of course, there's still lots more work to do in terms of polishing things and adding the extra tiny details, like extra small rocks and even things like the hot springs and geysers and all those unique assets. Those ones aren't quite in yet. But in terms of the general layout of the map and placement of all the water and stuff like that, it's pretty much ready and good to go.
Awesome. Yeah, we've been restricted to that little square for so long now. How much bigger is the whole map compared to what everyone else who's played it might be used to?
We have a picture of it that I could link you if you want to show it on the stream. Otherwise, previously it was 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers. However, our full map is now 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. So you're probably double or tripling your playing size.
Oh,
I can
awesome.
link the picture for it in a second too, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you guys. It's really cool. And Maverick says, question, will there be any mechanics or features you reckon won't be in the pre-release but added later, other than the stretch goal, animals, and island map?
Oh, sorry, could you repeat that? I just sent you the message.
Yeah, sorry.
Of the picture.
They're wondering if there's any mechanics that, won't make it into like early access, I'm guessing, but should be there by the time the game
for the
reaches
pre-release.
full release, yeah.
It's kind of difficult for me to say exactly what's going to be in the pre-release or not. Basically, as soon as things are completed, they get added to the game, and once we have a core set of things we definitely need to get done for September, or late September. But in terms of the 100% confirmed things that will be in, I can't quite share that quite yet. But certainly, like, we'll have this collision in here, we'll have combat and things in, we'll have possibly we're aiming to try and get some growth in, because that's very important for having an actual gameplay loop of having like the growth from juvenile to adult and stuff like that too. So we have the core gameplay loop that we want to just absolutely knock out and get nice and polished, and then all the additional things that maybe certain points of interest or something like that we can add in a little bit later after September. But it's not like after September we're not going to update the game anymore. Like, there'll just be more and more patches as we go through September, right?
Yeah.
So if it's not in on the first release of September, then certainly it'll be in October or November or December or however long it takes.
Fair enough. And Chai Latte, just want to shout out that super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, my friend. You're incredible. Framed, I think people noticing you in the chat. Good to see you here, buddy. Oh, hey, you're in the chat, Matt.
Yeah, I was just picking up a few questions while you're talking. There's a lot of common ones. I'll just get.
Yeah, if there's any you want to go ahead and pick up and address from the chat, please be my guest.
Can you guys confirm if the next playable is a carnivore? Technically, the next playable is currently the Styracosaurus when it gets added to the main branch, but the next dinosaur after that isn't confirmed. But we do have 2 months before our pre-release, so we do have time to add more.
So I noticed you guys seem to have turned up the degradation of the water, or the thirst and hunger. So that'll be more of an active part of the experience for those of us who are playing the demo.
So we currently, we mentioned this in one of our update videos. It's actually on our YouTube channel. But basically, we've converted all of our dinosaurs to use this new system. It's an Unreal system that's basically called the Gameplay Ability System. And for a lot of the dinosaur stats, we've converted them over. They're pretty basic now. However, they haven't been fine-tuned. So I think that currently the drainage is actually quite too high right now. It should be maybe half or a quarter of what it is currently. But, you know, that's a bug that we can definitely balance later. But, you know, the whole having these attacks, you know, you have an ability, as you see on the hotbar there. Things like, just as an example, let's say you eat a poisonous mushroom. That could actually cause a debuff to you now that would, let's say, for example, start draining your hunger very quickly, or maybe make your stamina drain or something like that. So now we have this new gameplay ability system, and it's a little bit rough right now, as you see, with the draining being a bit too much, but it basically lets us, and modders as well, implement any kind of buff, debuff, you know, different kind of ability, different kinds of effects, and it's just it really opens up a lot of things.
All sorts of things.
Yeah, bleed, poison, knockback, you know, any kind of buff or debuff to your stats, and even just completely new abilities. Like maybe you decide to swap out your horn attack for a kick attack, let's say, and we can just swap it in and out. It's almost like puzzle pieces, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's, like I said, a little rough right now. I'm sure in the next patch we do, or by the time we push it to the public patch, like the public branch, that we can iron out all of these little balance problems.
Hey, I think it makes it more exciting. Definitely, it's pretty slow in the demo currently. But you mentioned all the modding that people can do. Will they be able to mod like the dinosaurs specifically, like?
Yeah, of course. You'll be able to, like, if you want to take our dinosaur models and tweak them, like, you're free to do that. You can rebalance the stats of all of our dinosaurs if you want to do that. You can add new abilities to them.
We have
you
a
can do new
playable
maps.
buddy example mod as well.
Yeah,
So
we uploaded a example mod. It's because everyone was asking for the playable Platyhystrix, which is that small froggy-looking AI with the sail on his back.
Oh yeah, I think I saw
and...
Lacer do a video on that one.
Yeah, just a little fun guy. He's not really, it's difficult to actually play as him just because he's so small and stuff. But it's just sort of an example to show, hey, this is what you can do. And if you just, you know, have the time and have the energy to try something like that, it's very easy to actually add new playable creatures entirely to the game. And the greatest part about it too is that they're stackable. What I mean when I say stackable is basically you can take a mod map and then add mod dinosaurs into the mod map, and you can kind of have 3 or 4 mods going at the same time, so long as they don't use the same game files, like modify the same game
files. Exactly like
files.
Skyrim, so you can stack on a bunch of mods kind of at the same time.
Oh, that'll be
so you could,
cool.
You know, download all your favorite mods from your favorite modders, and then say, all right, I want this like Tarbosaurus mod, Dilophosaurus mod, like whatever, stick them all together, and then go off and host your own server and pretty much just make your own dinosaur sandbox.
One question is being asked a lot about the combat. So the current combat in the demo right now is placeholder combat. So a lot of what makes the combats great is covered in our recent Q2 update video, but that's something we're actively working on. You can see that with the early implementation of the ability system right now.
Yeah, so this
But
is
things
this
like
is what
collision and
it's the
trample
very
damage and
beginning
stuff
of
like
it.
that. Yeah, people just a few questions like, hey, can you make the combat more engaging? Yeah, that's totally going to be covered. There's going to be trample. There's going to be, knocking people off cliffs. Like we've definitely got that kind of stuff in the works right now. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if you run into a tree and stuff like that, right now, we have an early
Yeah, and you'll
version of our
see
collision system. You notice your head won't go through the tree, right?
a little bit
Oh,
of the head
yeah.
will go through the tree because you can look left and right, and that might do it. But like your chest and most of your neck won't clip through.
Collision.
It's definitely very noticeable on the Spinosaurus. We have a video that basically shows previously you'd have your Spinosaurus and you walk up to the tree and it goes all the way right through the tree, your entire long torso, up until you get to your feet, at which your feet won't go through the tree, of course. But yeah, Styracosaurus definitely looks pretty great with the collision on it, I have to say. And it's a little subtle thing, but if you also run up against a tree, you now turn very quickly away from the tree. Before we had this problem where if you ran up against something, it would take a very long time to actually turn around away from it and then, walk away.
Yeah.
And in addition to holding the precise movements key and stuff like that, the X key, you can just turn in place as well if you don't want to ram up against something to turn.
I gotta say, these animations for this guy are just beautiful too. My favorite's this 8, the 8 one.
Yeah, it's sort of like I tried to make it like a threatening display, almost like if you have a predator coming after you, because there's a threat and call, but I didn't want to make that one too long because you probably want to use that one in the middle of combat or something like that. So this one's a little more. And another thing that we did was if you actually, it's very subtle, but if you do a call and then in the middle of your call you want to attack, you can actually attack now and it'll cancel the call, so you don't have to feel like you're locked into doing a call.
Yeah, here's a demonstration,
I know
guys.
Yeah, I definitely noticed some people were complaining because they said, I was trying to do my broadcast call, and in the middle of my broadcast call I got attacked and I couldn't fight them because I was stuck, right? So we were like, yeah, that's not great. Let's fix that. Another small thing is if you notice you're running really fast when you run downhill.
Yeah, I was
too.
just gonna ask about that. Like, I was picking up momentum as I was going downhill. That was cool.
Yeah. It's work in progress. Right now you don't really keep the momentum for too long. However, in the future we'll definitely, it'll be a longer gain and stuff like that. It'll feel a little better.
I was starting to get worried.
Yeah, the food right now is pretty sparse, but also, within reason. Like, you're probably likely to find at least a couple bushes, every kilometer or so that you run, so, yep.
I see a lot of people asking where you can get Path of Titans. So you can get Path of Titans either on the Alderaan Games website, which I think is just alderaangames.com, or the Path of Titans website.
Yep. They'll go to the same place.
And what's the current price on that? I've seen a few questions about it.
There is a discount code, so you can get, what was it? Was it 15% off, I think?
15% off if you use the discount code Summer Break 2020.
Summer Break 2020, guys.
And if you have iOS or Android, you can just search for it on Google Play as well, or on the App Store.
Looks like someone in the chat, James Luther, asks, what about pinning and pouncing? So we currently have pouncing mechanics in the works, still being worked on, not available right now. And the pouncing mechanic is going to be for the raptors, like the Deinonychus and the Latinivenatrix. And you'll be able to hit one of your abilities and you'll pounce on top and hook onto any of the dinosaurs and you can attack them, and it'll slowly drain your stamina over time as you're latched onto them, but then of course you can do damage and bite them and stuff over time, and multiple people will be able to pounce on the same creature. So like I said, it's not in yet, but we're definitely working on it.
I have a question about if that discount applies to order upgrades yet.
Not yet, but that's something we're actually working on adding.
Okay, cool. And guys, thanks for all the likes. We just hit 75 likes. Hell yeah. Ask Jiggy. Oh, they're wondering if you finished the picking up animations. Question from Big Bob.
Yep, they're all finished. I was actually just spending most of today plugging them in. Same with there's like a mouth offset. When you pick something up, your mouth has to open a certain amount, right? Let's say you're carrying a big fish, your mouth needs to open quite wide compared to, picking up a small fish. But eventually, once I've got all these pickup animations and all these mouth animations done, then any dinosaur in the game will be able to pick up any item, so long as they're large enough to pick up the item. Maybe a little Camptosaurus can't carry a giant Arapaima fish. But yeah, just the ability to carry stuff in the game, I think, will really, give a lot of environment interaction to players too. Grab a meat chunk from a corpse and just drag it on with you, and give it to your friend, give it to your, nest mates or whatever, when we're doing your nesting and stuff like that. So I think it really will open up a lot of possibilities for players. My favorite one is going to be when, a Camptosaurus comes along and it sees a giant pile of fish that the Spinosaurus has made, and he just grabs one of the fish. Even if he can't eat it, he'll just grab it and run off with it just to be a jerk.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, so meat chunks will work exactly the same as picking up fish does currently. And basically, with the finishing of all the pickup animations, all the dinosaurs will be able to pick up fish and meat chunks and stuff like that.
Yeah, even if you're a herbivore, we figure, if you really want to pick up a meat chunk, go ahead. It's just like it's a sandbox, right? If you really want to do that, there shouldn't be some arbitrary restriction to prevent you from saying no, you can't pick up meat because you're not allowed to eat meat or something like that.
Oh no! I went into the water and I'm out of stam. Run! Go! Get to the land!
Uh-oh.
I just suddenly sank and I was like, what happened?
This is the perfect example of our oxygen bar, which you can see on the screen right now, going down.
Ooh, that was close. Guys, if any of I see some of you asking about specific dinos. I believe they have a list on the website of the specific dinos, but hey, Path of Titans is going to be all about mod support. So if there's any dino you want in this game, I'm sure it will end up being modded into the game.
Yeah, the plan is to keep adding dinosaurs. Currently, we've got 18 planned for launch, but you're about to decide what dinosaurs you want to have on your server, so you can just pick and choose what ones you want.
Oh, and there was one question I saw that seemed pretty interesting. Do you guys have like a target for the number of players you hope to have on your public servers?
Oh yeah, 200.
200, very nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's always been 200, and there'll be AI as well. And the amount of AI that will scale up depending on how many people are on.
Just reading some of your guys' questions coming in here. Can maybe want to I think we've talked about this maybe a little bit before, but optimization for the game is, and I think I can answer this one myself. It's about as good as it can get. I mean, it's going to be optimized for mobile and PC, so it's going to work really well on practically any computer as long as it's fairly modern.
Well, also do keep in mind that all of the performance improvements that we make for mobile actually will be able to go into low-end PC. So basically, if your PC is as powerful as a mobile phone, for the most part, it should be able to run the game, at least on low settings. We're always working on optimization, and I also want to expose a little bit more low-end parameters for some of the low-end gamers, maybe even things like reducing shadows and reducing the foliage density, and just a few smaller things like that might help a little bit more with the low ends. And also I'm interested in exposing maybe even some more options for the high-end PC users as well, who might be able to say, yeah, maybe I'll drop down, or I'll increase the poly count of a lot of my trees or something like that, even if I lose a bit of frames, but I've got the high-end PC, so I can probably handle it. So just things like that. It's really scalable. there's some really awesome tools in Unreal Engine, the game engine that we're using, that really makes it so that our workflow is just, yep, this works on PC and on mobile and on Android, iOS. Like, it can work on anything. It's really incredible, if you ask me.
Just a quick note that if somebody's having an issue with buying the game or downloading the game or something like that, definitely jump in our Discord and post on one of the help channels or email us, because we will better help you with that one.
Yeah, our support email is help@support.alderongames.com. So if you send an email to that, then we'll help you within 48 hours.
Hey, Chris, thanks so much for the sub there, my friend. And I just gotta say, I really admire this distortion you guys have added to the water. That adds a lot right there.
Yeah. Eventually we'll also have some actual sound effects to go along with it and stuff like that. But for now, we basically just want to see... We just added in this patch because we want to see how well it works on a giant map with multiple people eventually once we host servers, and just see how it works. And also if it causes any performance problems with people too.
Oh my god, that stamina goes down so fast when I'm swimming. I didn't even realize how fast that went down.
Yeah, we definitely need to balance it.
So yeah, basically, because if you notice we swapped out the whole HUD, it's basically because a lot of the underlying code has been swapped out with gameplay ability system compatible code. So right now we're just getting feature parity with the new system, just for the build that's currently live on the demo branch. So as soon as we get back to combat and a couple other things working, we're about to roll this back out once all the dinosaur stats are fixed.
I'm foiled by a pebble. So what I'm wondering is, are you guys gonna work to have a collision work with maybe some of these smaller plants here? Like if I were to walk into like this sapling?
Oh, like interactive foliage kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a work in progress one of that. The main thing that's difficult with interactive foliage is getting it to replicate on multiplayer. So for example, if you see another player run into the bush and like that bush, for that bush to move around, that's definitely the difficult part. So I'm still looking into that one, but I'm very interested, at the very least, for you as a single player to be able to interact with the bushes, for sure.
I just want to address something from Framed. Framed, I'm pretty sure the biggest hadrosaur they got is the Barsboldia. And I think there are plans for there to be a sauropod added as part of a stretch goal.
Yeah, the Amargasaurus, the ones with spines on its neck.
Yeah, my buddy Framed here is a big fan of the big herbivores.
Yeah, when it comes to the big herbivores, it's really a matter of designing the map to work with both tiny little dinosaurs like Microraptor, but also the really big ones like Amargasaurus or Barsboldia and stuff like that too. So it can be a bit of a struggle sometimes. But a great thing about the map design that we're working on is we explicitly made a whole bunch of interesting areas that only small dinosaurs can access. We named them havens, and basically they're places that have like some nice water, nice environment. Like, it looks very unique and pretty, and the only way to get into it is through a tiny little opening. So basically, if you're a small herbivore and you're just terrified of Tyrannosauruses or whatever coming after you, at the very least you can sneak away and enjoy a bit of quietness.
Yeah, that's really handy. I love all of the stuff thrown around that we've already gotten to see. I'm excited to explore the rest of this map and see what else you guys have got stashed away out here. There was something I wanted to pass along from the chat here.
We do have a mini map in the works, by the way, if you get lost.
Oh, very nice. A little mini map. Yeah, because I'm totally lost. I'm totally lost right now. Trying to find my way around. And I know you guys are short on time here, so I'll try to limit it to just a few more questions. Let me grab that link for the Path of Titans Discord there, Thrixler. So you guys can hop on there. And again, I believe the promotion code was Summer Break 2020. if I'm not mistaken, Jiggy.
That's correct. No spaces. So just Summer Break 2020, one word.
Here, guys, I'll throw
If
the
you wanna
link in the
see-
chat first and then put it in the description. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and we have a if you just go to our Twitter, just at Path of Titans, there's a picture that shows you exactly what the promo code is if you don't know how to type it.
And I just also want to remind you guys, I do have Jyn's video linked down below, which gives you a nice tutorial on how to gain access to this public demo test branch and how you can help the game out and report some bugs. You know, that could be anything such as a, you know, maybe a glitch or, you know, like a tree that might be misplaced or something that's meshing wrong with another. Anything you see that just don't look right, report it and help these guys out. We want to get this game out as fast as possible. I'm excited.
If you report bugs, we actually have a bug tracker Allosaurus skin that you can only unlock through reporting bugs. So be sure to report as many as you can so you get a high chance of getting the bug tracker skin.
So here's a really interesting question I just saw from the chat. So it's no secret you guys are going for more of an MMO style to this game. And will you have something sort of like bosses or like raids? You know, like in addition to quests?
Yeah, I'm very interested in having almost not necessarily bosses per se in raids, but things that players can do in game where they have to team up to take down some big foe or opponent or AI or something like that. Where one thing we'll have in game are they're called clans, but they work similarly to guilds in other MMO games, and basically you'll just have large guild type quests that you need to have, you know, a large group work towards. So whether it's something simple like, you know, collect 1,000 acorns and then everyone in the guild can go and collect 1,000 acorns, just as an example.
Okay.
To something a little bigger like, hey, there's this really big AI on the map that's very powerful. You know, you guys got to take him down and like work together as a team to take him down and stuff like that. So definitely that's something we're very interested in doing. Whether or not there's actual raids, like you enter a dungeon and there's a raid with a raid instance and a particular boss monster and stuff like that, I can't say that that's something that we at least have planned for launch, but certainly having very interesting guild quests where you work together is something we'd love to do.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for it. And, you know, again, guys, whatever isn't in, like, just the vanilla game, modders will go nuts with all kind of options. It's going to be really exciting. I did see someone ask about Rex. T-Rex was a stretch goal that was, well, it wasn't exactly a stretch goal, but it was... Somebody contributed, I think, a certain amount, and they got a choice at what dinosaur they wanted to add, and they requested the T-Rex. So that will be later added into the game. It's my personal favorite.
A few notes about the T-Rex. The perk owner who purchased that T-Rex to be added to the game, of course, everyone gets access to the T-Rex when it's added, so it's not like you have to pay extra to get the T-Rex. The person who donated to get to add the T-Rex to the game, they specifically wanted it to be scaly, so it's a scaly T-Rex. There won't be a feathered option, and also it's going to be accurate. Of course, it's not going to look so much like a Jurassic Park T-Rex, for example. However, we're putting in the option for the subspecies. One of the subspecies will have the teeth exposed, and another subspecies will have lips. So you can pick and choose which one you kind of prefer. The look that you prefer, if you like the teeth or the no teeth.
Yeah, so you can get the more scientifically accurate, or you can get more of the movie monster, whichever one you guys want. That's something I really admire about this game. You guys really leave so much up to player choice.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about paleontology in general is that there's just new things happening all the time. And so for us to say, yes, this is 100% the most accurate one, I mean, I'm sure in just a couple months it would be debunked or figured out to be different. So basically our thought is, let's put weird speculative things. For example, your Styracosaurus that you're playing as right now has quills on its back, right?
Yeah.
And that's very speculative, but that's based on the idea that other early ceratopsians like Styracosaurus actually had quills on its back, so you think, oh, maybe the Styracosaurus, as it evolved over time, maybe it actually kept those quills. We don't know the answer, but let's put it in the game. Let's people have the choice. If they really don't like it, then they can go ahead and play a different version that might be considered a little more accurate. But yeah, just we're not trying to say, 100% this is the most accurate representation. It's more, here's a bunch of variations. What do you think? Let's not 100% dedicate to this one, because it'll change.
So I recognize you there, Dr. Shinji. Wondering about ceratopsians being able to gore. I think that's something that's still subject to change. Fine points of combat are something that are being worked on. So stay tuned for that information. I think for maybe a later Q&A we'll have, and we'll see if we can get that answered for you. A couple last questions. Will stretch goal dinos be in before full release?
Stretch goal dinosaurs will not be in for full release. They're stretch goals, which means that they're basically things that we'll add in after launch. The only stretch goal that we're going to definitely add for launch will be the growth and nesting stretch goal, because that one we feel is very important to the integral gameplay, basically.
And we have another question here from Misty Wolf about scent systems you guys plan to implement.
Yeah, so the concept of scent is cool, and often you use scent to, you say, I need to figure out where food is, I need to figure out where water is, where predators are. We're going to be putting in a mini map that will be on the top right of the screen, or you can bring up the full map for the game, and that'll give you a bit more of a concise way to look at your surroundings. And we're still thinking about scent and whether or not it's something that genuinely needs to be added to the game. So I can't 100% confirm if that's something we'll put in for launch, or maybe if that's a mechanic we can add later down the line. But in terms of a gameplay loop, we're not entirely sure if it's needed for the game that we're going for, sort of thing. Like, if we were to add it, it really needs to be a gameplay mechanic that you cannot do without, sort of thing. Right. So we'll see how that goes. I can get back to you on that one in terms of exactly how it might be implemented if we do it. But as we've developed the game, I know earlier we were sort of saying scent definitely seems like something we want to add. But as we've developed the game, as we've found more of the identity to the game, and of course added features that added to the gameplay loop, we start realizing, yeah, maybe this mechanic doesn't actually really have a place in this game. But like I said, things are always subject to change. If we add scent in, we'll definitely let everybody know.
Now, I have a little bit of a question here. I've noticed, and maybe it's just I'm just noticing it right now, but the environmental ambience just seems so much more enhanced with this update you have right here. Have you done anything new with it, or am I just...
We haven't done anything new. However, we do have time of day. In the morning you have kind of crickets, in the afternoon you have birds and wind, at night you have crickets and fireflies and ambience and stuff like that. So it goes, and if there's rain and things like that, you'll hear thunder if it's a storm and stuff too. So and we're definitely working. What I'd really like to see, and we're slowly working towards it, is basically even having ambience specific to the location that you're at. So if you go into a swampy area, it'll start playing frog sounds and sort of the general swamp sounds. So yeah.
Well, I just gotta say, it's top notch. Just beautiful. This game is so gorgeous already. I'm so blown away. If you guys got any last minute questions you want to address from the chat, I'll let you go ahead, but just want to pass on some kudos. Again, the progress with this game is at a breakneck pace, and we're coming up to September pretty quick. That's when the early access is set to go up. I believe still set for late September, correct?
Yeah, late September. We're still on track for it. Excellent.
Yeah, if you have any questions from the chat that you guys would like to address, please go ahead.
Yeah, let's see. Silver Phantom asks, will there be night vision? And actually, what we've done for Path of Titans is essentially once nighttime comes around, as you can probably see in the stream if you reverse back a bit and later in the stream when it was nighttime on the stream, as it's morning right now in the stream, instead of making it pitch black and difficult to see and then having to activate night vision sort of thing, we kind of assumed that animals' eyes would naturally start to adjust. And we've decided, as an aesthetic choice and as a gameplay choice, we want nighttime to be more of a visual difference and just adding, visual interest to the game and not actually be a vision blocker. Our night times are quite bright. You can see the stars. It can be a little harder to see things at night, especially if they have a darker skin. But in general, it's not something that you'd say, well, I'm not interested in playing the game at night anymore because I can't see anything, right? Like, we really want the game to visually look good. And another thought we had is if you're playing on mobile and then it's nighttime and you can't see a thing and you're trying to play on the bus and it's already hard to see your phone, like, that's not fun. So we kept nighttime as bright as we could. That still sounds looks at least like nighttime. Savage Aloe asks, any thoughts on reducing friendly fire damage? Yeah, absolutely. When you're in a party or like a group, we're interested in, certain attacks probably just won't really inflict too much damage on you. Do keep in mind that we do have collision implemented right now, and soon we'll be opening some multiplayer servers to test out that collision as well. So friendly fire in the current version of the game might seem like it's actually very common because you just run right through each other and bite each other accidentally. But once you have collision in the game, it's very different. Like, it's very hard to accidentally run into your friend and then, headbutt them, for example, because you can't actually phase right through them. So.
Oh, I saw one question from the chat that was pretty quick.
Sure.
Pretty easy to answer. So, will you lose progress or growth when you die? And while there will be some penalties for dying, you're not going to have to start all over or anything. No permadeath. It's not meant to be quite that punishing. I think you just lose some of your in-game currency, the marks, as you guys call them.
Yeah, and do keep in mind, you actually have multiple character slots, right? So you can just create as many characters as you'd like, basically. And, if you die, sure, you lose some progress, but you don't have to kill your dinosaur in order to try a different dinosaur. Like, you can very easily say, I've got a Styracosaurus over here, I've got a Lambeosaurus over here, I've got a Daspletosaurus over here. Like, you can just swap between characters. So you don't have to go, I lost my character, I was really attached to that character, I had a skin that I really liked. Doesn't have to be that way. That being said, however, if people really do want to have a hardcore mode, so to speak, where if you die, you lose everything, you lose your dinosaur, then that's definitely either a mod that someone can make, or maybe we even can take a look at implementing that as a server option for server owners if they really want to have that kind of gameplay.
And I know all y'all wondering about the consoles, but I believe that is something that is still in the works, so.
Yeah, we're not allowed to share any information about consoles, unfortunately, or which consoles we might support, if possible. As soon as we're allowed to share, and as soon as we have information, we will absolutely let everybody know. You will know if we do have console support. But until then, just assume it's mobile and PC only, unfortunately.
Oh, Carcass Factory says, did I miss anything about a map? Feel like I get lost a lot. Yeah, Carcass Factory, there will be a mini map at some point. It's not quite in yet, but they are working on it, so you will have that. It's going to be... so this was also kind of like ties into a question people had about scent. So there probably won't be a scent system because that element of finding things will be fulfilled by something like a mini map.
Yeah, like we'll update everyone on how it goes. It's one of those things where, we design the game with certain things in mind, and if there's some kind of an arbitrary mechanic like scent, which for an animal in the wild that doesn't necessarily have a map to reference and anything like that, they definitely would use scent, but it might not be too important in this game. But we'll see how it goes. If we see a great use of scent, then we'll certainly take a look at implementing it. But right now, we're trying to really get all of the most important features of the core game done first. So things like combat, collision, growth, nesting, all of the dinosaurs and all their animations, precise movement, everything that's 100% like non-negotiable, so to speak, with the game, right? So we'll definitely get back to that.
And I'll let
Carnage
you guys...
X Gaming.
Oh, go ahead.
One more question. Carnage X Gaming asks, will the mobile version slow down the development of the PC version and limit it? And this is actually a question I've seen a few people ask. And, you know, understandably, I can see people worrying because a lot of games that are kind of both mobile and PC, they tend to kind of just be a mobile game that's ported onto PC and not vice versa. That's just what other development of other games have done. But I do want to clarify that Path of Titans is quite literally a PC game that's been ported to mobile and not the other way around. So as you see with the game, it looks great. All the controls are there. All the UI is there. Nothing is dumbed down. It's basically just, you know, complete PC package, PC game package. And it's basically just, you know, we put the mobile UI over the PC game, and you know, so you have a joystick so you can move around and stuff like that. But it's quite literally the exact same game, and there's no limitations going in other than things like being able to change your graphic settings to be extremely low to be, you know, match what mobile might be able to do. And also sometimes the density of the foliage on mobile will be lower, but of course on PC you can always crank those up too. So it's not really limited whatsoever.
It's a bit of a fallacy that the mobile version slows the game down. In my opinion, I think it actually makes a game faster and better, mainly because all the improvements we do on mobile come to PC too. And there's a lot of bugs where we've fixed a bug on mobile and we've had that same bug on PC. So yeah. I actually think it speeds development up by a lot. It also helps get us a lot of testers to test the game, report bugs. I mean, even if you never play on mobile, there's more people to kill. Like, there's a lot of great things about being on mobile that's rather interesting.
Framed, we need a mod? Well, guess what, buddy? You just became it.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's answer... Go on.
Please avoid spamming your questions, guys, because we're not going to answer questions that are spammed over and over again. Like, yeah, just be nice and polite, and just we'll look through and answer as many as we can.
Awesome. Let's answer 3 more questions, and then we'll let everyone head to bed. I think Simmo's looking a little tired here. Yeah.
I'm having a good time. I can keep going.
Okay. Let's do 3 more questions. Let's see.
Skullface Gaming, did I buy the game or did you just get the demo? I actually was gifted a code from Beer War. So he hooked your boy up way back when the game first launched. But I would totally buy this game on my own. And if you guys want to do so. Check out the Alderon Games website or pathoftitans.com. That's where you'll be able to get the game. It is not available on Steam. It has its own launcher. And last time, plug in the promotion, Summer Break 2020, no spaces. That'll get you 15% off the game, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. So Katori asked the questions, do we have to worry about lower foliage density being abused? Think PUBG. So what we've done with Path of Titans is, if you notice when Simmo's running around here, anything that you can actually hide in, so a rock or those large bushes, like you'll see there's kind of patches of large bushes that will actually hide your Styracosaurus pretty well if you run into them. those bushes in particular will always be visible even if you're on low-end mobile. So basically there's certain types of foliage that will always be visible no matter what, and it should be fairly clear which one's which because they're always much larger and much taller. But for example, things like very short grass and very short ferns on mobile might actually be hidden. Just because mobile might not be able to run all that dense foliage. So if you want to 100% be, safe that no one's looking through bushes to find you, you just have to go in the particular types of foliage. That's all. So yeah, you can see Simmo's hiding in that bush there, so works pretty great.
Oh no, I'm so thirsty. Actually, I should just let it go, see how fast I start to die.
Just another note, an advantage we get from our platform is we get to put mods on everything we ship the game on. So basically, on mobile, and if we end up launching on console as well, they'll be able to download the same mods basically from the Eldron Games platform. So we don't have to have a separate, half my mods are on Steam Workshops and 20% of the mods are on a different site. It's all going to be like a combined ecosystem full of mods for people.
The user Fights Like Squatting Dog asks, will herbivores be able to eat leaves or trees in the future, or will our Margosaurus need to seek out berry bushes as well? No plans to eat trees, just because, for various reasons.
Oh my god, I'm dying so fast now!
Oh, yeah.
That happened so fast.
Yeah, work in progress. So you won't be able to eat trees. However, that being said, we are going to have plenty of unique, edible foliage items for herbivores. So things like maybe you can eat some pumpkins and you can eat berry bushes. You can eat mushrooms. You can eat acorns. You can eat plenty of interesting things. And each one of these things will actually give you different kinds of stat buffs. So and of course, y'all have a particular diet to your dinosaur too. So maybe the Camptosaurus would be fine eating the poisonous mushrooms, but something like a Barsboldia might not, take too well to eating the poison mushrooms. So there's always, competition for different resources, and as varied much of it as a varied diet as we can do. Yep. Let's see.
Pumpkins confirmed. That's right, Super King.
Yeah, I think on our Instagram and Twitter and stuff, we actually have pictures of the pumpkins, as well as in our Discord, of course. Let's see, one more question here. Troy Sanchez asks, will there be a time where we can buy coins? Also, really enjoy the game on mobile. Keep it going. So the in-game currency that's like a dinosaur foot on a golden coin, that will never be purchasable for the most part. Like, it's the whole point of the in-game currency. We call it marks, as in like you're making your mark. It's a footprint, like a mark. That currency is you can only collect it through in-game quests and achievements and things like that. And it's mostly because for things like skins and abilities and new dinosaur species and stuff like that, we want to try and keep as much as we can, like let players be able to unlock all of this stuff through just plain old gameplay, no microtransactions, none of that stuff. So no plans as of right now, or not really any time in the future, to allow people to straight up buy that kind of stuff. Just think of it as like gold in an MMO, right?
I know a lot of MMOs ruin it by letting you buy gold.
Squams.
Yeah, okay.
Other Titans isn't a free-to-play game. We're not going to do a free-to-play model where you have microtransactions and stuff, right?
Yeah, and the only reason why I hesitated earlier about the microtransactions is because we're very interested in doing almost like charity skins. We have a channel on our Discord called like Save an Animal, and basically people have been putting in suggestions for endangered or nearly extinct animals. And our thought is, if we can have a very cool skin for just for example, maybe there's an endangered tree frog. And, if what we could probably do is have an in-game microtransaction. Yes, it's a microtransaction, but all the funds can go towards trying to, save this particular tree frog, let's say. And we can make a skin that's based on that tree frog that you can play as in-game. Maybe it's for a little Camptosaurus or something. Or, And the thought here is, yes, it would be a microtransaction, but it's really just an optional skin that's more so, let's try and save this particular species of tree frog, because at least personally, my thought here is sometimes the only thing that really prevents a small species like a tree frog, for example, from going extinct and not going extinct is really just the funding and the volunteers for it. And if we could somehow drop like $10,000 of like amazing donations through selling a few skins in our game to some sort of a charity that really needed it, that's trying to save these frogs, like wouldn't that be amazing if we could kind of work together as a community and save this particular species of tree frog and have a little skin of it in the game too? I think that'd just be amazing personally. So
I think that's fantastic.
That's why I hesitated. That's why I hesitated when I said microtransactions, just because that's something I would love to do in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we're all animal lovers here and would love to see more stuff
exactly.
like that.
Someone asked about merch. We don't have any plans to do merch, mainly because we're focused on making the game great and awesome. Instead of selling t-shirts or something like that, and also would be kind of uncomfortable doing that with the game not being done. Basically, we'd rather wait for the game to be finished first.
Yeah,
whenever it comes
let's
out.
wait till let's wait till the game is finished and you guys love the game and it's like something great to support. Oh, look, Simmo, behind you. You've actually got a map bug you could report.
Oh, what?
There was a floating like a piece of foliage almost, but I guess you missed it.
Yeah, basically we have a new in-game bug reporting tool now. So basically, if we find a bug, you can just type bug snap in chat, like /bugsnap.
Oh, right here.
And it'll bring up a window, and
Bug
you can basically, you can basically submit a bug, and that'll automatically get sent to us. It takes a screenshot of the coordinates and everything.
Yeah, and if you send in bug reports like that, then we can definitely get you a exclusive Allosaurus bug tracker skin.
There you go.
And the
Simmo's
titles
reported a bug now.
are optional, but that's
So Simmo's reported a bug now, so I'm sure in a couple days when we go through all the bug reports, we can get him one. So there you go.
Yay!
We'll better take a clip from the stream and show people how to report it now.
Yeah, I really like it too there, Dragon Savior. But alright guys, thanks so much for taking the time out of your night to do this with me. Matt, you just sent me a message like, hey, want to do Q&A with just I don't know if you were like watching my stream earlier, but yeah, I was planning to do this anyway.
I released a new update, and the first thing's on mine. Let's check if Simmo wants to do a Q&A. So that's
okay. Yeah, lined up perfectly then.
Awesome.
Yeah, guys, this is really coming along so well. If you have any questions, I did link the Path of Titans Discord down below as well. So if you want to hop on over there and engage with the rest of the community, you can do that. If you want to get access to this, I have Jyn's video down below showing you how to gain access to the public demo test server. And, well, other than that, I think I'm about to call it for the night myself. Matt, Jiggy, thank you so much, both of you again. I love doing these Q&As with you guys. They're always so much fun. And I could keep going, but yeah, I'm a tired boy.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
One last note, if your question got missed, you can always post in the Q&A channel on our Discord. So I noticed there's some questions people desperately wanted answers to. I'm really sorry we didn't get to those, but we can definitely answer them in the Q&A channel.
Right on, guys. Well, thanks so much again. Amazing work on this game. Can't wait to play more. You guys at home all have a wonderful night. Appreciate you. Much love. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. And if you're new, consider subscribing. We'll be playing plenty more Path of Titans coming up. All right. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
See ya.